All right, as Congress aims to pass the big, beautiful bill in the Senate, a group of Republicans are working to expand a provision. Now, as it stands, the bill includes a $5 billion federal tax credit for people who donate to nonprofits focusing on providing scholarships and alternatives to public schooling. This is innovative. First, we talked about this before. It first came out of Arizona by former Congressman Trent Franks probably 30 years ago, and it's expanded across the country. Now it's going federal. But some Republicans want to expand that provision before it actually becomes law, doubling the amount of money that's available. And we're waiting for Congressman Burgess Owens. The House is voting right now. He's going to step off the floor here in just a moment to talk with us about a meeting he had with President Trump and possibly expanding this, making this program accessible to more people, which I think is absolutely critical, because if we're going to change education in the country, we have got to we've got to get choice. We've got to create competition in our education system. While we're waiting for Congressman Burgess, I want to bring in Mark Tapscott with the Washington Stand. I was mentioning the Washington Stand earlier. He's our congressional analyst and a senior congressional analyst. I want to bring him in here on the program. Mark, thanks so much for joining us today as we're waiting here for Congressman Owens to join us.
Interesting day today, Tony.
It is. What are you working on for the Stand?
I came up to the studio after watching the live stream of the House Rules Committee. They've been debating all afternoon various amendments and all kinds of things, some related to the rescissions package, some of them not. They recessed just before I came up here, and they're going to reconvene after the vote that Congressman Burgess is participating in right now.
So let's talk about the rescissions package. Yeah. That's going to be on the floor probably Thursday. It was in the Rules Committee, as you mentioned. What's that looking like at present? First off, explain what that is to our viewers and listeners, and then what's in it.
It's $9.8 billion worth of spending that has previously been authorized, that because of the DOGE analysis of the USAID and other parts of the government, the Trump administration and the House and Senate Republicans want to pull it back to save it, because we need to save as much money as we can. It looks to me like they're going to go with basically the package that was first sent over earlier this week. There may be some changes here and there, but the basic idea of about $9.4 billion in rescissions is going to be intact. It's a down payment. There will be many, many more rescission packages as this session of Congress goes forward.
So what are you hearing? Any opposition, or should this thing move through pretty quickly? I mean, among Republicans, obviously Democrats are not going to vote for this. They have 45 days. Congress has 45 days to deal with this once it comes from the White House. So they have to move quickly. They can't do like they normally do and move at a turtle's pace. They got to get it going.
To be honest, Tony, and I've watched, I can't tell you how many, and sat through how many hearings. This one really looked like people, the Democrats and the Republicans both, were going through the motions, making their talking points and then moving on. I think you're right. It's going to basically move forward and probably pass with a very narrow margin.
Let's talk a little bit. It looks like Congressman Owens is going to be tied up with these votes, sure, and we're going to miss him here. This is pretty innovative for the federal level to have this educational scholarship tax credit.
Absolutely.
Explain that a little bit to our listeners who may not have been listening last week when we talked about it.
Well, the basic idea is that with a tax credit, the government can encourage certain activities, in this case, encouraging it to make it easier for parents who want to ensure that their kids are getting a solid education to be able to keep money that would otherwise go to the government in tax form or taxation and use it instead to pay for tuition for their kids at a good school. Millions and millions of people, as we have talked many times here in recent decades, have become very unsatisfied with the public schools, and they're looking for an alternative. And this is one way that the federal government can provide a tremendous boost to parents who want to do that.
And Ted Cruz is handling the bill, and
Yes.
the standalone bill in the Senate. Congressman Burgess working on that. Burgess Owens working on that as well. And in a conversation with President Trump, it looks like it might double in the Senate to be a $10 billion bill, which would allow more kids to have access to private education. Plus, it includes homeschooling, not just private education. But about 80% of that private education is religious in nature, which is a good thing. Mark Tapscott, thanks so much for joining us.